We have a real gem for you in today's Wonderkid to Superstar. You guys requested him a hell of a lot in the comments on the previous videos, and we thought we've got to do a video on him. And in this video, he's going to turn in to one of the best ever wide players to play the game of football. He's that impressive. He can be so good in your saves. So with that being said, let's run the intro and show him to you guys. Hi everyone, Jake here for FMSCOUT. Welcome to another episode of Wonderkid to Superstar, the series where we take a Wonderkid, put them to the highest end of their potential range to see what you might get in your save. And today's player is very, very special. Like I say, in this simulation, he doesn't just go on to be good and worth the money, he's going to go on to be one of the best wide players to pretty much ever play football. He's deadly in the match engine and his attributes are just insane, especially considering how he starts. So I'm going to show you exactly how we get him to that level. But first, I'm delighted to say for the first time in FM23, this video is sponsored. That's right, this video is sponsored by none other than Raid Shadow Legends. We here at FMSCOUT have teamed up with Raid to give you guys some awesome rewards for playing the game. But before I tell you about those, let me tell you about a new awesome faction in Raid, the Sylvan Watchers. Rather than living in a city or a cave, this faction made their home in the Mistwood, which is essentially a huge jungle. The faction as a whole look amazing because all of these champions have been designed to look in tune with nature in some way. I mean, just look at a few of these awesome champions. You've got King Alkabar, Cormac the High Peak, and Dwayden the Runic, who is my favourite by far. He's essentially just a giant tree man. Back to those rewards that we mentioned earlier though, Raid has prepared something special for new players because you can now vote on your favourite starter champion. To do this, you just need to download Raid from the link in the description or scan the QR code that you should see on screen. Copy your in-game player ID and take it to championselect.playerium.com and enter your player ID there. From there, you can vote on your favourite champion from any time between now and February the 10th when the draw ends, at which point there'll be a prize draw where you can not only win some awesome rewards in game like champions and in-game items, but also you'll be entered in with a chance of winning real life prizes such as an Amazon gift card worth $1,000. If you're already an existing Raid player though, don't worry, if you head over to that website there'll be a special promo code which you can use to get an in-game gift. But it doesn't stop there. Raid have also partnered with UFC legend Ronda Rousey to create a champion in-game based off of her. All you need to do to unlock her is to log in and play Raid for 7 days between now and the 20th of February. Not only can you get everything we've just mentioned, if you sign up right now using the link in the description or the QR code, Raid will be giving you guys unique bonuses worth up to $30. We're talking a free epic champion, Chinoru, 200k silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and 1 epic skill tome. What more could you possibly want? It's like being given a 200 potential Wonderkid when you're still managing in non-league. So what are you waiting for? Go and check out Raid Shadow Legends. I'm sure you won't regret it. A big thank you to them for sponsoring the video and to anyone who checks the game out. But with that being said, let's get back to the video. Let's go take a look at this awesome player. So we're Real Madrid here. He doesn't actually start at Real Madrid. He is actually at a new club that he has recently joined in Liverpool. Now, some of you might already be thinking, I know who it is. He's appearing on the screen now. It is none other than 16-year-old Scotsman Ben Doak, who's actually been at Liverpool for a year or so. He has a potential range of 150 to 180. So even on the worst end of that potential range, if you give him the chance to develop, he will be one of the best in the world out wide. And on that 180 end, you're going to be looking at one of the best players in all of Football Manager 23 once developed well. Now, the reason Ben is so exceptional in the game is because he has some great attributes right from the off. Physically, he's very quick, which is exactly what you need on that right-hand side. He's also a great crosser, dribbler with great first touch and technique. His flair is there, his determination and off-the-ball work. All of that is at a high level, but how are we going to turn him into one of the world's best? Well, let's go bring him over to Real Madrid to find out. So, we've moved over our boy Ben to Real Madrid, and we're going to actually use him on the opposite end to where the game wants him to play. Now that's because he's strongly right-footed and I'm not a massive fan personally of playing an out-and-out winger, so I'd rather him be cutting in on that right foot, and then my choice was inverted winger or inside forward. And whilst inverted winger might seem like the best option for Ben, and it very well might be, I just fancied inverted forward because I thought he'd get more goals and do better and develop well throughout this simulation. Now, something I have found since bringing him over to Madrid when I checked check the in-game editor, he has, in this save at least, 19 for consistency, which is going to be very special for Ben and help him perform very well. I don't know how random that is, whether it's always going to be the same in your save. Usually with a young player like this, it is randomized, so take it with a pinch of salt, but you will see it is a very big part of his coach report that he is so consistent. So that's a nice little boost to have, but in terms of his training, I'm purely focusing him on that inside forward, on the attack position, on double intensity. The thing with Ben is he's got so much room to develop that you can kind of make him whatever player you want. He starts off at 16, around 18, 90 current ability, and he can basically double that and go all the way to 180. So he'll be a completely different player by the time he starts developing. Even though he's already got a decent personality, I'm still mentoring him with some of the better players at the club, and we're hoping that will help Ben develop a lot. So now we're going to simulate a few years ahead and see just how well he's doing and what kind of player you could get if you tried to sign him in your save. Okay, here we are in 2025, 3 years into this save. Ben's been developing very well, but the first time I did this simulation, after 2 seasons or so, Real Madrid stopped registering him because his current ability was lower than the rest of the squad, which is of course correct. He isn't ready to play in this Real Madrid side, but for the purpose of this simulation and me wanting to see what happened if we would give him game time, I then restarted the simulation, forced him into the registration rules, and also upped his current ability a little bit so that Real Madrid would pick him in their registration without me doing it, and then he started to get more game time. What that does mean though is Ben is only 19 here, but he's probably at the level he should be, about 20, 21, because I gave him that current ability boost, so bear that in mind. But either way, this is what he would look like on the lowest end of his potential range, because currently he is about 150, 149 current ability. So bear in mind that's the lowest side of his potential range. If you got the worst version of Ben and fully developed him, you'd be looking at a player that looks like this, which is already an exceptional bit of development. You'll see his physicals have gone up a lot, as we would expect with a young player over 3 years of consistent game time at Real Madrid. I actually do think even without that current ability boost, he would be here or hereabouts in terms of his development. It's just that a few attributes have developed a little bit more than you may have expected, but his technicals have came on very nicely. His technique's gone up, his finishing has improved, his first touch, dribbling, crossing is all at a very high level. He's still probably a better inverted winger, almost definitely better on the inverted winger position than he is inside forward, but he's developing really nicely and those mental attributes are also coming along very well. But the real question is, how can he perform in the in-game engine? Well, the answer is very well. At 16, he was fine, not amazing, but okay, really. The next season, Real Madrid picked him automatically. He scored 17, assisted 9, and had a 7.39 average match rating. Then this was the season where I boosted his current ability a little bit, and he's done well yet again. But even without that boost, he was still doing very well, so it's a shock that Real Madrid did not register him for the next season. So thankfully, we corrected that, but he is turning into a very, very nice player, but this is by no means Ben at his peak. So let me now forward ahead so that you can see him in the prime of his career to see just what kind of player he can become. Okay, we're now here in 2035. Ben's been playing for over 10 years in this Real Madrid side, and you're about to be blown away by just how good he looks. So let's go check him out. Let's check out Ben Doak, and I mean, just look at those attributes, look at the coach report. He just looks phenomenal all around, and whilst you guys take a look at him, I'd like to let you guys know I do have my own channel linked in the description down below where we have an Aberdeen save going on right now. It's only just started, so feel free to get on board now. A lot of you guys are really enjoying it so far, so thank you for any support over there. But yeah, I mean, Ben Doak, man, what more could you want from this player? Physically, an absolute beast, and then technically he is just perfect. You could not want anything more from him. But has he been performing in the in-game engine? For Scotland, the answer seems to be potentially no. I don't know where they're playing him, probably not in the best position. But for us, as an inside forward, I mean, look at some of those ratings. He is just doing so well. About 21 years of age, he really starts to kick on. And then recently, as he's got into the stride of his prime, he has been playing better than most players on the planet. 24 goals, 20 assists in 37 league games. Again, another 24 goals a year after and 25 the season following. He is so impressive and so dangerous. Those starting attributes that he has are just so great to build upon because he has the things you need to be successful in FM this year. He's quick, he's agile, agile as a wide player, those are the things that you want right off the bat. I actually have a simulation at the end of his career, so let me quickly switch to that. And he's kept up those incredible performances until his career has started to fade out at the age of 35, where he's still playing very, very well. But the big question, of course, is did he win a Ballon d'Or? Did he get anything? The answer seems to be no. Gabriel Vidovic has won all of them, so fair play to him. I'm going to take it as a win though. I feel like he would have set him up for all of the awards, but he has certainly been one of the best wide players in all of world football. Even at the age of 35, he is wanted by PSG, so clearly there's still something in the tank for Ben. But this is where the simulation will end, and also the video, so let me know in the comments down below who you'd like to see next. Like the video if you enjoyed. Thank you to Raid for sponsoring the content as well, and make sure you subscribe as well for more content like this. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.